Happy holidays, everybody. This is Chibi, and this is going to be day 2 of 12 Days of Anime. And today is going to be a little bit of a highlight of one of my favorite films from this year of anime, One Piece Film Z. It's pretty shocking, actually. You think maybe Dragon Ball Z Kami no Kami might have been number 2, but maybe that could be for another day of this 12 Days of Anime. But anyways, I have to say, One Piece Film Z was a great movie. There's going to be a little bit of spoilers in this, I guess, quick review of it and a little bit of discussion why you should go watch it. So if you don't want to find out any spoilers of One Piece Film Z, please do not continue on this video because I don't want to spoil any great emotions that this film actually gave to me. So anyways, let's begin. One Piece Film Z starts off with Z singing a really beautiful song about the sea and the journey to the north. That's basically what the entire song emphasized, and it was just a really beautifully well-made song. And, Oda had a big role to play in this actual movie. He wrote this movie, and to be honest, he hasn't really stated that this movie is canon, but he basically has hinted at it. And to be honest, from the perspective of reading the manga and actually watching the anime, I will say One Piece Film Z, I would think, is canon. The way it fits into the story and the way it actually takes place, it makes it really believable. Now, honestly, it's more believable than the Strong World movie. If anyone remembers the movie 10 of Strong World, then you should know how that was basically canon also, but it's really hard to believe. Anyways, this movie was great. It had everything to great music, great animation, great cast of characters, believable villains, and it had some personal favorites of mine, especially from the One Piece universe. Let's get on to right at the beginning, Z. Let's talk about Z. Since this movie is basically called Film Z, let's talk about him. Now, right at the beginning, since Z is the one singing, you find out that he's basically in control of these New Marines, or Neo Marines, either way you want to call them, and he wants to, I guess, destroy the Grand Line, and destroy all dreams to pirates and crush them, and get rid of Gold Roger's treasure. The reason for this is at first when you see Z, you think of him as a bland villain, and he's not really that good of a villain. But as you see his character build up, and the way he acts, and the way his motivation is for him the reason to want to destroy the Grand Line, and why he let the Marines in the first place, his character is really driven well. I'm kind of upset that he was only in the movie. He should have had actually a personal freaking arc just to himself because of how great he was as a character. That's how much I love Z as a character. And honestly, getting to see how he was and the way they stacked him up against enemies that were freaking crazy strong as we know of in the One Piece universe was some great freaking action. The action in this movie was really well done, especially with the 3D CGI top fighting. You gotta love the backgrounds with like Zoro flying around basically, and you see like 3D environment circling around. Or Z right at the beginning, the way you see the 3D environment of Z's like beating the living crap out of people. That was entertaining. I mean, the way they introduced him, he had like a mechanical arm, big, purple hair at that. Purple hair is my favorite color. So I was like, oh yeah! So, purple hair, freaking big boss dude. He wears his freaking like coat, like his Neo Marine coat, like Whitebeard. I was like, damn, this dude must be freaking strong. And it goes to prove how strong he is when he's sitting there bossing an army of Marines by himself, and then he fights Borsalino Kizaru. And that was the true test of his power to see how strong he was. Getting to see him fight him one-on-one, literally beat the entire he didn't seem as strong as Whitebeard, but still, Z goes to show, even with his age and the way he was taking, like, insulin to be able to survive, because, as you can tell, he had medical problems. That was some interesting stuff with that. I mean, just to show the strength of Z, I couldn't imagine how strong he would have been if he would have been in his prime with full strength, because he was literally destroying Kizaru, fighting him single-handedly and keeping up with his speed. And I love the entire introduction of the Dynarocks. The main focus of this actual freaking movie focused on Z destroying the Grand Line, which I just covered a little bit ago, and he's using the Dynarocks that can rival ancient weapons to destroy major points in the Grand Line called endpoints. And they're volcanoes that go into this like pool of magma underneath the Grand Line, and if you destroy all 3 endpoints, the entire Grand Line will literally burst into flames. And that's exactly what would happen if Luffy and some Marines didn't really try to help this entire situation and stop Z. So really, I gotta love the way they actually did the plot in this movie. Definitely one of the greatest plots I've seen in a One Piece film movie, and definitely one of the greatest moments of this year of anime I've seen. especially the way the music was. The music had a really good, believable One Piece type feel to it. I mean, usually when you hear One Piece music, you know it's One Piece, and it still managed to keep that actual awesome music with One Piece the way it was treated in this movie. And now, there was a little bit of also good fan service. There wasn't a lot of fan service, but Nami and Robin was basically used as nothing but fan service in this movie. No joke there. I mean, they played good roles in the actual movie, but they felt more along the lines of, I guess, fan service issued for people just to say, ooh, fan service. But besides that, they weren't really of importance to this movie. But what really shined was right at the end of this movie, the way Luffy was literally fighting, Z is all he got, and getting to see how they literally get so exhausted, they start fighting with their freaking fist, hockey fist, and they are literally beating the living crap out of each other. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. Just seeing how the way they fight and the way the music was just building up that entire scene was a really awesome conclusion to the movie. Now, this was really, there's a lot of epic moments in this freaking movie. One of my favorite moments is Koji's entrance into this movie. Okay, if anyone knows about the 2-year time skip in the One Piece series, which you should know if you've been watching this movie, you should know that basically Koji hasn't really been shown before in the actual series after the 2-year time skip. I mean, we got to see him fight Don Flamingo, but we haven't really got to see his true body and the state of his condition of his body. So, in the movie Film Z, they actually reveal what a Koji looks like. Oda decides to go out and show what he looks like. And getting to see how a Koji is burnt to hell and back, has lost a leg, that was unbelievably shocking revelation. I did not expect to see something like that. Knowing that a Koji has lost a leg to his fight with Akainu, that was freaking crazy. I mean, it seems like they didn't want to reveal Akainu, and I know what the state of his body is, because I noticed they tried to hide him a lot in this movie, which is fine by me, because I guess Oda wants to hold his cards till last before he reveals him, but you gotta love a Koji in this movie. He played as a neutral role in this entire movie. The way he acted, and the way he kind of hinted at him being, like, kind of nicer to the Straw Hats was a really good plus. And you gotta love the actual how Koji just sings the song at the end. That was a really beautiful, heart-touching song when Z was literally formed a great relationship with Luffy after having a nice goodbye, and they can understand each other. And you see just the song singing as Z goes out with a final bang to protect Luffy and get him off the island. Wow! Freaking Z is fighting the entire Navy, Vice Admirals. It was just really freaking epic. This movie all around was just great. They did a good job on it. And just something so spectacular. I expect great things from One Piece in the future, because just the way they managed to do this movie, I know for a fact One Piece is going to be great in the future. Well, everybody, tell me what you think about this day of anime. Tell me, did you enjoy my quick review on One Piece Film Z? Tell me what you think is going to probably be on tomorrow. Well, everybody, you have happy holidays, be safe, and Chibi out.